I have two stories on Matthew Poku Prempeh, the MPP's running mates. But before that, no, let me just say this. Mekai say was it 3 years ago? Was it 3 or 4 years ago on my birthday? I'm say Melodies ebusian for moya adia mani so many. I remember say a lot of people donated. A lot of people sent contribution. Emma, I mean, we helped people. Okay, I think 2 or 3 years ago. Bibi say for those who have forgotten, Tuesday essentially my birthday. Menyanka, we will try to do that thing again. Menyanka, we will try to do that thing again. Into Monday, Tuesday, my birthday. This is the only time normally I am my birthday menka, but this is the only time I'm going to talk about it. That's on the 23rd July. Anyway, Yanko and then Semneso. Now, there is a professor, I have a Professor Samuel Akenya. Now, what in Sembi Atujawa Tron Sembi, or say Dr. Opoku Prempeh's MPP vice presidential candidacy must be withdrawn. Now, within the week, and Melodies ni be sending me article be. Now, I thought it was fake. I mean, it is fake. It was actually fake. Now, Omasha da ye fake letterhead of NAPO. Me sure some munya mu sa article no. Ye fake letterhead of NAPO and ye can say NAPO essay or person will resign or step it down as a year Bawumia running mate. Inti ni bakune sanema me say Melodies minka ho asem na me katen say oh fake. Now I would want to believe, I don't know whether it is based on sa introya professor yi etroye intia enana eye nkrofo say NAPO was so step it down say the intia no mokoko yes a de ne dia. But professor yi etre say I was say NPP for Emma NAPO step it down. Mekan we are I'll share my thoughts on it and then we'll see. Now, I'll say for just as much as the date of February 24th is remembered and etched in the annals of Ghana as one very destructive day of infamy, by now Ghanaians should expect that our beloved country should and would have settled and healed from the pains, wounds, and intensely divisive rivalries and animosities which the date gave birth to during the overthrow of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So Tremu say, February 24th, them say February 24th ni two Kwame Nkrumah fi adeɛ so. So Tremu say February 24th debia Ghana for edwe ho a ebe ye omo ya pan because of the eto Nkrumah na o expect ana Ghana for na komo expect say at least we will be healed from the pains as ade na ekose yen. Now I say it also culminated in the public executions in its aftermath. All the pains and angst of that day were solely based on fabrications, utter disrespect, dishonesty, and the rudely framed misleading information that poisoned the minds of the people. At the time, the narrative festered while unchecked, leading to that infamous date of February 1966. Most of the erroneous information is now considered as classified. Now, was it disrespecting the icon Dr. Kwame Nkrumah? Or see, today is June 9th in a generation, as well as a new millennium, also a date of public dismay, one reverberating with inordinate fabrications, hostility, and disrespectfulness towards Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who is sadly solemnly stilled in the Professor Brophy. In this, let me check the pronunciation. I've not seen this word before, Mr. Momo Fanchami. Let me check the pronunciation of this word. Professor, you can kind of bro for is it, how do you pronounce this? I'm not sure it's the origin is English. I'm not sure.
Sepulchre.
Sepulchre. Sepulture. Anna. Okay. Solemnly stilled in the sepulture. Now, the meaning of that word is Mr. Mufanchemu. A small room or monument. Okay, tomb. Not to say, baby, Yesu Christo. You didn't say tomb, no. Other name for a tomb and no sepulture. I say, the national controversy had its birth at the ancestrally venerated semi-sacred palatial residence of the Royal Majesty Otumfuo Dano Tutu, the Museum of Manhyia Palace, a place of pride, dignity, and truth-telling, also of proud incidents and of glorious baronial accounts. The attempt by His Royal Majesty was to prepare the candidate for the officious role of the Vice President, as much as neutralize the candidate's rudeness deficits. To the contrary, in a most polite and culturally refined candor, as well as a revered paternalistic fervor, Otumfuo, at the minimum, anticipated the coming onslaught. His exact words were carefully chosen for the buffs of history, civics, political science, and speech making. Indeed, a timeless piece of advice. In his characteristic sonorous tone, he lamented, and I left. Inti brofo akesiye ne nsemu a Professor Ekanina odi ababisi inti odi assembly free baby edi free senya Kwame Nkrumah ofri so yayaya ofri so wieye oma a brief on the esiye atiase soldiers ne ekunkum ne nyama esisi ye no after Kwame Nkrumah free so no watiase na owieye no ena ode ebe shemu inti na asemu a work and brofo akese a me yese me finding the pronunciation ni meaning na say Kwame Nkrumah de say be wada a wote ne baby kum wewu a wada wote ne baby kum ena emse napo akwa peja asem na eden aba but onyamba mesi na pompo so ye ode fa eye osei tutu ati ase Otumfuo ode fa Otumfuo so se Otumfuo ede nyansa mu eye se nanka wo boa napo ohwe Otumfuo kasa wo kan ye ne nsem a wo kan na efutu a wo ma ya nanka Otumfuo ate napo ho kra into that is where he's taking the story from what you say. Now I say he was under my watchful eye here at Manhyia during his adolescent years. Of late, I have received group reports that claim you as insolent, rude, and disrespectful. Lamentations of sheer utter and stiff arrogance. My response is, I do not know of you in this way. We have talked in private, but it bears repeating. If the reports are true, then you need to control and maintain the calm for me. Do not bring any regrettable outcome for Dr. Bawumia. My counsel to you is to follow Dr. Bawumia with clear and vigil humility and obeisance. Inti oha quotations closed. Oha asemo Otumfuo kan na ono paraphrase na ode eba brofumu what you say o quote a wode eba brofumu the Otumfuo ka se napo mi ana metete wo senia ye ka me de mi mantete wo se onye dwe but ende yeso ya yeso ye dwe se sa na ti a enye ne sa oni Bawumia akwa ye adwuma no hweye ati ase sansem ni na no o ka obrofumu sa no. Now say ladies and gentlemen, Ghanaians, the rising tide of diasporans and all who admire Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, this rather polite quote should and ought to have been an extremely warm, ominous, and rather affectionate paternal tide from not only an elder, let alone the foremost king of the land. It should have been enough, but not for Dr. Prempeh. Inti oka se Ghana foi amwa abrochi amutie wo hwe senia Otumfuo nsemu a wokan ye omo adma Kwame Nkrumah wo hwe senia Otumfuo kan se ne de oyema napo na nka ho na nka wo se napo tumi fa sa asem no edenam na nka napo wo se wode e no ye campaign nka Otumfuo aye adwuma ni na manapo na nso daabi napo se daabi Otumfuo adwuma wa ye no enso meni na mia me ba bese no inti afi wo beto aso o say as clear as daylight Dr. Prempeh gave his Royal Majesty a nakedly disrespectful, daring glaze. Those of us in academic training in perceptions could descend through the haze. Into Otremu say, Otumfo eka sa asem ni wiye ne kra no. Ohwe NAPO eni bia wodi hu ode hwe Otumfo na. Otumu say NAPO wanfo obuo am Otumfo. Into all pekene from Otumfo futu a wode ma NAPO won krofo mu no. I say from hono the first thing NAPO ye ne say wodi eni bi hwe Otumfo. Na wono professor no yobi a wo tre sa body language ni sa ade no wate ase nti omo tre sa ade ne de nipa bi ye bibi na onkasa ekra na tumi hunu se da bi nipa yi based on enina wode hwe ono bibi wom ti ohun enina na podi hwe wotumfo na ho anu hu se na pombo ade wa disrespect wotumfo odi ne nie de disrespect wotumfo na Ghana fo bebre hu to say all this was preceded by His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who very gracefully delivered a quasi-farewell note to His Royal Majesty Otumfo in the presence of dignitaries, high members of Ashanti royalty, eminent guests, whose appearance was to bring full-hearted public endorsement to a soiled candidate. His Excellency promised a proper visit to pay Otumfo proper gratitude to his heart-warming support and also affability during the tenure of presidency. But he too made another polite reference to Dr. Prempeh's royal ascendancy. I must mention that too should have been a zero-sum game. Nti wotremu President Akufo-Addo nso je Mike nsemu a wokan President Akufo-Addo kra tre a ono kra no obesanso enyamre no ono ankasa ba besra Otumfo because as president no Otumfo abo ne pan ye ene ehunsem. Now say His Majesty, I introduce you to the man of the hour. He originates right from here. Your own at Manhyia, and under your helm, he is Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, your kith and kin. Inti President Akufo-Addo, o share senior or your introduction no etre Otumfo so Otumfo and indeed President Akufo-Addo did that. O si Otumfo we die me de wa wo fie ha Bawumia ese wo fo obi na nipa ko na wo fa no wenya bebi ase wa wo fie ha ati ase inti eno na wo ka. O si so Dr. Prempeh had two very distinct and privileged introductions by the first executive of the country, preemptively followed by the solemnly paternalistic cautionary tale of foreboding gloom. Into otremu a o say answer na NAPO kra no ye beyi na epie no na te sempanyimfo mienu enanka edi nenimu a womo aye adwuma na ma no Otumfo aye adwuma na ma no President Akufo-Addo nso wie ye je Mike no ono nso aye den aye adwuma no ama NAPO. O say a firm signal from him to hit, but no. He paid no reciprocity to the too gainful and full-throated remarks. Inti nanka NAPO o say nanka NAPO wo say ohun ho nanko sua nyanse hu ne say mpanyifo mienu edi menim dia mi hu ne say dabi mi nkonko gu menim ase nanso o say dabi NAPO say ono de obese na asem nti wo hwe professor a wo tro ne nsem a wo zo nyamba asem ne nso kra yo ba wo hwe bebi ode asem ne fi a wo ba na on narrative story yes I'm getting a professor zi yo beku yen o say just as Dr. Prempeh took the microphone, he injected the insults that brought back painful memories of February 1966. Into see NAPO eji interference waba na wesi NAPO na semne so. Into see NAPO ji microphone no. Senia ye tu Nkrumah free ade so Ghana for ebi mu di ya no. NAPO e de sa reho ni nyina e ba biom. O kai Ghana for ya. Your Kwame Nkrumah cited by Prempeh. 1. 2. Since 1957 till now, not a single head of state has developed Ghana to the tune of Nana Addo Dankwa, cited by Prempeh. Nti nyama 2 a wase NAPO kan ya e de ohaw ene oyawa Ghana for remember ye nyina no. San nyama 2 no. Subliminal threshold. O say, it was very clear that not a single word of gratitude to his honorable Royal Majesty Otumfo for his well-crafted, well-intentioned, and well-delivered opening remarks. It was well proven that Dr. Prempeh is an ungrateful individual. Inti professor ne tre say ohwe NAPO se ne okasa fa Kwame Nkrumah ho a na tre say NAPO kra no wanfo obu a mo otumfo because answer na obekasa asem no na wotumfo ejine mu ama no akwa ye say utifie ni ebo kronfo na osofo bi aba begine mu ama se da bi wei oyemeba me na metete no wonye kronfo osofo ni twa ne chi ye we ya bebi a yegina ye ka wasem na wakwa kowi ade we di osofo na tem indirectly no we di osofo na tem because of the integrity and the reputation ejine mu ama to otremu say first thing NAPO ade a wo ye no the first person that would din atem eyotumfo owie no sanso ka say NAPO eyobi a wo ye bonia ye ni ye ka so bi ye bonia ye address ungrateful. Say NAPO ye bonia ye ni pa. Say Dr. Prempeh is an ungrateful individual. Or say his use of the prefix yo for Dr. Kwame, for Dr. Nkrumah connotes a definitive departure from himself, from being a unifier, not a consensus builder, but evokes the painful legacy of Matemehun separate. A denigration of the spirit of the late Eswal president. Into say NAPO yusu mo Kwame Nkrumah no sa word mo na NAPO yusu ye no. Na NAPO peso trese wono de ase Kwame Nkrumah no eye at the time bia wono peso de ne ho be tale. Into ase wate ne ho. Ati ase na ne kra trese NAPO nyo obi a obetumi ni obi aka bom say ye ka bom ni ye na ye de adwen ayeden aye Ghana yie dabi sa asem na NAPO kan se ne oka mo Kwame Nkrumah na tre se wate ne ho pese ode ne ho beka Kwame Nkrumah onye obi a oka nipa bom na NAPO asem na wokan no Kwame Nkrumah time sa ene bi mu ye de pese ye ho Kwame Nkrumah time ate me ho no NAPO sa hade no na wo treye sa sunsun na Kwame Nkrumah time ekunti a Kwame Nkrumah a no wo chechire Ghana na Ghana fo ebi mu selfishness omo pese omo tie omo ho omo de omo mpene no sa sunsun na NAPO o show ye na sa hade no nso pa na ekuti a Kwame Nkrumah o see he is rudely framed, misleading, dishonest and disrespectful fabricated narrative of no president has done more for Ghana than President Akufo-Addo. That is a fabrication. So say NAPO sanso ka se obi eni wa ye Ghana to say President Akufo-Addo no sebe in previous eye ntro eye ndada NAPO pese odi mislead Ghana for eye ade a wono ankasa tenase ano mo ankasa tenase ahyehye eye settings. This time sa na be kind of settings obi ka se fabrication wa fabricate it say why your settings. One, was the first, Dr. Prempeh is a graduate of Kwame Nkrumah University in Kumasi. 2, second, the Chancellor is His Royal Majesty Otumfuo 32. 3, third, the former Nkrumah Market, now Central Market, is in Kumasi. 4th, the famed Okonfanochi Teaching Hospital is in Kumasi. 5th, the jute factory of the bargain of cocoa was in Kumasi. 6th, almost all of the above received hydroelectricity from Akosombo. 7th, an impressive list of secondary schools were built in Kumasi. 8th, to 20 illustrious infrastructure developments all in Kumasi. Wow, thus far, none of the above was built in the 8 years of President Akufo-Addo. Inti se, oka se, Akufo-Addo abomodin ase Kwame Nkrumah kra no professor no listing nyama Kwame Nkrumah ye wo Kumasi ho a wo tremu a sebe o Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology na o wie school kra o je certificate no Kwame Nkrumah na ye. Second, Otumfuo say to kra ye chancellor of sa school no ni na Kwame Nkrumah nsi a na nka na Otumfuo betumi aba beda ne chancellor. 3, Opeso atrese Kumasi Central Market and they friend Kumasi Central Market ni kana Kwame Nkrumah na sie na sa time ne friend Kwame Nkrumah Market. And then they asese deny no Kumasi Central and kana mimi. 4th, and what say Okonfanochi Teaching Hospital Kwame Nkrumah sanso ye jute factory ye ka jute once when your friend Ghana must go no. Yes, them say ne friend jute. Kwame Nkrumah ye a home factory na wo Kumasi nti or listing nyama Kwame Nkrumah ye wo Kumasi what say President Akufo-Addo ba 8 years ni sa nyama no nye mu ba kumpo nti so oba be ka tren say Kwame Nkrumah President Akufo-Addo boy juma asenyenye Kwame Nkrumah na wo Kumasi ho ne kra no de Kwame Nkrumah ye pe no na kampese Ghana ni na o se prempe a threat to Dr. Bawumia nti wo hwa or the sub or the head in by and or the sub headings in so ehihie mu nti baby a Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe edidi atem or tre ahasen so person tre say or ye threat to Bawumia say Bawumia hwe ya Matthew Poku Prempe be born form ka so be a traitor no I say Dr. Prempe's sword remarks since he made them have ignited a refrain of acrimonious claims that is now threatening. First, the very candidacy of Dr. Bawumia. Second, his presence on the ticket is threatening the very foundation of the party's faithful devotees. It is causing a swift departure of the humanitarians, the affluent individuals, in particular with loyal followers. Third, the academics among them are questioning his true heritage and legitimacy for leadership should a sudden accidental death occur. Into wo tremwa 1 ade a wo ye no wa threaten Bawumia pa 2 ye wo enimdifo bi a ewo MPP party nim ena nkrofo bi a ewo MPP party nim kra na ade a Matthew Poku Prempe ye a threaten the foundation of party no sa omo te party no 3 sa ade we a Matthew Poku Prempe ye na ma MPP fokre bisa se sebe mpedi asa sebio yanka se mbem ba sebio se Bawumia koko wini no wini wie na sebe se senia Atami so wuye se Atami ba be wu a na te se Matthew Poku Prempe na sisi obeba be da ne president sebe se koba ne se Bawumia wini a no koko wu a Matthew Poku Prempe na be da ne president ama nkrofo kre bisa se sa wey asem we are okay na nipa betumi aba be da ne president. It was the beholding question is, given his tacit ungratefulness, non-consensus builder, misleading, dishonest, and obviously disrespectful and arrogant figure towards an iconic member of global society and the highest member of Ghana's royalty, who incidentally is the chancellor of the famed university he holds letters from. And this royal figure mentored him in a diplomatic appointment that filtered through screening stroke vetting. The United Kingdom's paper, Nobel laureate Prime Minister Sir Winston Churchill made these remarks in Parliament stroke white paper. Alas, to fortune's favored ones, Honorable, my letters of expiation are at your swollen shores. I am deeply, deeply sorry. Quotation closed. Dr. Prempe should resign from the Dr. Bawumia ticket, for he has brought the entire Ghanaian media landscape to an unquestionable stalemate. To Tremwa NAPO, I was all resigning because I did we are why Bob Bawumia from. Also, the entire country with sweeping majority support for Dr. Nkrumah, even more than when he was alive, is privately and publicly tearing Prempe, dissecting his heritage and his true origins, the little legacy that he has incubated, and diminishing his brief professional repute. He is, please pardon my picturesque language, arrogant, impolite, blasphemous, insulting, disdainful, disrespectful, frivolous, and flippant. The question is asked of you and me, are these the character qualifiers you would want in your leader? Ti waka Matthew Poku Prempe nsemu a waka ni na atrese oyobi a wombo ade oyobi a wotan ewonimu oyobi a atemdidie ati ase oyobi a asede trese onim kasa oye nyaachum oye boniaye ni wo bisa se sebe mpredua Ghana enimdefo sene omo wo man nimu no ye pese nkrofo di eso a nkrofo asebe omo was a treat na say DS one a bisa question. I say whatever happened to the two noblemen, the short list of vetted MPP history makers? Those men are far better alternatives. So whatever happened to the two noblemen, the short list of vetted MPP history makers? Okay, now just say the list of other Ngrophobia and Uncle say MPP for Fano. We say then a two, right? Those men are far better alternatives. I say thus far, Dr. Prempeh is not a unifier or a helper. He is a divider and is taking votes away from the Dr. Bawumia tickets. The world's famous television mogul is quoted to have said, when people show you who they are, believe them. Oprah Winfrey. So see when in atrese, NAPO atrese wonyo bia enkambom eyenede ompenkabom otitini pemu na Oprah Winfrey America maame awabobra asemu awokan ne se nkrofo treo de womo ya giomudi atrese NAPO adia waye wa tre Ghana fo ni suban ente o se Ghana fo ginidi. So oba na the apology bia ba betuja. Meyen so sa apology nim. Yen ginindi because wa tre yen ni suban. So I say the divisive outcome. I say the divisive outcomes of the Prempeh speech have the Council of Elders of the Divisional Chiefs preparing what to do. They are Nzema, Owin, Sawi, Seshi, Seshi, no, and I say Sawi, Seshi, Anna. And yes, Seshi. SAHWI. Asin wasa ahanta fanti efutu. Into a tremwa. Adia Matiopoku Prempeh yeni nano ama ahemfo. Ewo Kwame Nkrumah and omufri Kwame Nkrumah honi nano and the womo dwen the omonye. Now, I have a story I'll bring to you after this one. Kwame Nkrumah ni kura wo free so nkrofo ehene ababekasa aseme no kan me de ne bebrel later. So say of the North, we should recall that they are CPP loyalists. That included the fathers of Dr. Bawumia and President Manhyia. They were senior executive staff of Dr. Nkrumah as Minister of the North and Agricultural Minister, respectfully. And you see, it is even part of Adia Yerefi. Bawumia and the Kwame Nkrumah, Bawumia and the NAPO, ne vice no, ne running mate no. Bawumia papa. Now we Kwame Nkrumah a minister. Intienda Kwame Nkrumah wo kaseti ane se momo Kwame Nkrumah no Bawumia ode wo abakra no. Na te se wo disrespect Bawumia nimpo. Once the professor na yanka Ghana obi anka za asem no, but a fact. Professor yanka anka yen na ye refi. Ti professor ne tre se Bawumia ne kra no ne papa. Oye ejuma ma Kwame Nkrumah no e Kwame Nkrumah minister. But how dare you say Obekaseti Kwame Nkrumah say? So tremu a Mamprusi, Kusasi, Gonja, Sisala, Dagomba, Kukumba, Nkrofo bi no mo Kwame Nkrumah di pan mo CPPD. Conclusion: Dr. Prempeh must resign. His supposed letter of apology is a written down clarification. Into Trim say, ne tintini ni tietim say, or send a poor resign. Sa letter na wodi aba wa tro no. Ya de bia ye shed that tra to amano. Or say a definiteness of his views. A definiteness of his views, which is what he said. He is a scary individual on a mission. Just a NAPO or yobia. And it's adi huni bi dan ni so na eniso adi huni bone. Ya heni ye na ye NAPO se eniso adi huni no odi kodru baby na ono eno beba be ye Ghana for ase odi akwa kodru baby a afa ye kan on ye ntumi nye hwe na ye ditumi ko hye nsem a ekho na Ghana for be hu se eniso adi bone eda ni so. The elder clansmen have said, if you wash your hands very well, you are invited to the supper table with the elders. So we no kasi say akola hohoro ne nsa yi a onimpinifo eden edidi. I will close with a quotation from my friend Oprah Winfrey. I say, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. Dr. Prempeh has revealed that he is rude, disdainful, arrogant, disrespectful, and a fabricator. He must, with pride or prejudice, find the courage and enthusiasm to pen a letter of withdrawal, lest he destroy Dr. Bawumia and collapse the foundations of the MPP. In TM say, Atanini Professor Samuel Akenya, or United States, or ye say, or ye Nkosohene of Sikobu 2 in the Jomro municipality in Zema. Okay. I mean, Matthias ye. In the professor no ye Nzemani, or ye Kwame Nkrumah, Ekrumni, intino, no, as rightly so. In the professor no ni, Osha, yes, Wabobra, and our tron a bro for fine, and I just say, Wabona Poichi. This was a long one, but Mufanchami, we had to do it. Ayana, academician, set troop in Yamabisia, Ayana, Miniji Hopanga. Muntre your comment box nimo. Medasi.